Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Parker Murray, and today I'll be introducing myself so that you can know a little bit more about me. To start with, I'll speak about my younger years, and then I'll speak towards where I am now, and finally, I'll speak about what I want to do in the future. Now, I am adopted, and being adopted from birth, it's just a really interesting thing because you have a set of biological parents and a set of adoptive parents, and it can bring a lot of conflicting emotions into a family situation. Personally, I have never had to deal with those emotions because, in my eyes, my adoptive parents are my real parents, and I just don't want any contact with my birth parents. Now, in my earlier years, I moved around a lot for my father's job. I lived in Gainesville, Tallahassee, Orlando, Jacksonville, and St. Augustine. My family finally settled in Jacksonville when I was at the age of 7. My mother began to homeschool my little sister and I. It was fantastic. I would wake up at 9 in the morning and have all my schoolwork done by noon. Now, in the state of Florida, if you're homeschooled, you must take an end of year placement test to determine whether or not you pass the grade. This test is proctored by a so called real school teacher. Now, we didn't end up staying in Jacksonville for too long. My mother always wanted a farm, and so my parents started looking. We eventually found a place in St. Augustine that was a 50-acre farm, and my family instantly fell in love with it. Fairly soon afterwards, we were moving down to St. Augustine and away from the so called city life. I just want you to understand that when we first moved to St. Augustine, it was culture shock in the extreme. The closest grocery store was about 30 minutes away. Now, I loved it. It was a lot of fun, but we were taught from an early age to work hard and play harder. We would routinely have square dances, and we would have people bring over their four wheelers and dirt bikes. You could do anything out there. Now, don't get me wrong, playing hard will get you in trouble. There was one New Year's Eve where my close friend and I were making our own fireworks, and he decided to make a flamethrower out of PVC pipe and gunpowder. It was the most awesome flamethrower I've ever seen, but then it blew up in his hands. We had to rush him to the hospital, and they were able to save them. He now is missing this pinky right here. However, it was definitely one of those hold my beer moments. Not too long afterwards, I was attending Allen D. Nease High School. I was a part of their ROTC unit and football team. Now, I was still being homeschooled and going to Nice part time. It was an interesting feeling because everybody was jealous of the fact that I didn't have to be at school until 1 in the afternoon. Now, at the present, I am 23 years young. I own my own condo. I have my associate's in science degree, and I was in nursing school for a while. However, nursing school just really wasn't for me. I am currently working for Brooks Rehab as a certified nursing assistant, and I work in their home health care division. Basically, I go to a client's house and help them with anything they need, whether it's errands, a bath, yard work, anything. I am currently a pre-law major and am very excited to begin my journey into this field. Speech is in the last class that I need in order to obtain my AA and begin this journey. I'm also what you would call an avid gamer. I play World of Warcraft and am ranked at the top 3% of said game. If I'm not out with my friends or at my computer, you can find me curled up with a good book having adventures, in faraway lands. Although not all my hobbies are indoors. Recently, at my roommate's badgering, I have started to play airsoft. At first, I was somewhat unsure whether or not I would like it, but after playing a few games, the realization of how fun it was just hit me. Another thing that I like to do was take the boat out on the river. We'll go tubing, skiing, wakeboarding, fishing. Sometimes, though, we'll just break out the cigars and tequila and make a day of relaxing on the river. If you're ever over by 6 Mile Creek, I highly suggest going back to the hidden rope swing. I'll gladly show you where it is if you're feeling brave. Enough about my present life. Let me tell you a bit about my plans for the future. I want to travel the world. I want to go everywhere. I've already been to 10 countries, and I can't wait to have adventures in more. I really want to backpack across Europe and Australia, and that's coming up next year. The way that I intend to get to that point, to be able to just go anywhere I want at any time, is through real estate. I want to own a bunch of rental properties, like a lot, and have and I will start my own property management company that will have vacation houses, homes, and condos for rent. So that's just a little spiel about me. I hope y'all have a great afternoon.